Hello everyone, welcome back. So in the previous class we studied about the interaction diagrams, use cases, use case diagrams. Let we see. What are use cases? We have seen use cases design in the previous class. Use cases design will be with the help of some use cases, use case relationships, and also use case actors. Okay, so with that basic behavior modeling in the fourth unit, let we move to explain about the use case diagram. Use case diagram. So in this use case diagram, what are the contents available in the use case diagram? Let we follow. In the use case diagrams, we have to see terms and concepts and common modeling techniques, terms and concepts, common modeling techniques, and also forward and reverse engineering. We have to see the forward engineering and reverse engineering, forward engineering and reverse engineering. Let we have to see. Okay, so move to the terms and concepts. What are the terms and concepts available for a particular use case diagram? See, a use case diagram is a diagram that shows a set of use cases. What use case diagram has, which shows set of use cases and actors and their relationships. Use case diagram shows the set of use cases, first one. Second one is set of actors. Third one, relationship among the use cases and the actors. A use case diagram is just a special kind of diagram in the unified modeling language and share the same common properties as do all other diagrams in the unified modeling language. Okay, so a name and a graphical content that are a projection into a model. The name and a graphical content is the use case diagram. Simply say that use case diagram is representing which shows the use cases and the actors and the relationship among those use cases, actors, use cases. In between them, the relationship we have to write. In the terms and concepts, use case diagrams commonly contain use cases, actors, dependency, generalization, and association relationship. Relationships are we use in use case diagram: dependency relationship, generalization relationship, and association relationship. Like all other diagrams also, use case diagrams may contain nodes and components. May also contain use case diagrams, nodes and the components also which contain. So the use case diagram, terms and concepts, use cases, actors, and some relationships. Among all these relationships, you may also include, like other diagrams, nodes and constraints is also there. Constraints is also there. Next, so see this example. This example completely having a cellular telephone system use case diagram. What is this diagram? Use case diagram for a cellular telephone system. In this diagram, we have to see place phone call. Placing a phone call is one use case. Receiving a phone call is another use case. And use scheduler is another use case. Main use cases are there. And another use case, place conference call and also receive additional call. You can also receive additional call with the help of others. Okay, so here we have to see in the cellular network is an operator, that is an actor, and also the user is also an actor. The user and the cellular network, both two are the actors in this system. See, cellular network connects the phone call, and cellular network is also connect the receiving a phone call, and also the cellular network will connecting the both phone call and receive only, which will not connect a scheduler. Scheduler will be connecting with the help of only the user. Okay. See here, extend relationship, dependency extend relationship, place conference call to the place phone call. So yesterday in the previous class we have seen extends and include relationship. Extends and include relationship, both two are relationship which are using an dependency relation in an use case diagram. Here, place conference call, we are not placing conference call regularly, but we may place conference call. So that is not a repeated process. For that reason, we are giving the extend stereotype relation. Here, in the receiving additional call is also extends relationship. Why? Because you may not receive many number of calls while in your call. That will happen once in a particular time. So that extends relationship will be using the additional operation also, but it will not regularly done. Where if you use additional information like include will also adding that particular relation. Okay. So in this example, cellular telephone system, the system boundary is there. You have to see the rectangle, the boundary of the system. The boundary of the system will be developing a outline, boundary of the system. Okay. This is about the example of a particular use case diagram. So common uses of the use case diagram. What are the common uses of use case diagram? When you model the static use case view of a system, when you use the static use case of a system, so here the use case diagram in one of the two ways you have to see. So first one is to model the context of a system, to model the context of a system. Context, if you model a context of the system, so modeling the context of a system involves drawing a line around the whole system, drawing a line around the whole system. So, and assessing which actors lie outside the system and interact with each. So, what is the model to context of a system? Modeling the context of a particular system, we have to see drawing a line around the whole system, drawing a line. So that is that line will represent the context of the system, drawing a line. See in the previous slide, so we wrote a drawing a line outside the that is beside the actors, that see. So that is the system boundary, which represents the system boundary. Okay. So to model, when you model the static use case view of a system, you apply use case diagrams in one of two ways. First way is draw a line around the whole system, that is a context, modeling a context. And second one is modeling the requirements of a system. See here, to model the requirements of a particular system, so the requirements of a system, the modeling the requirements of a system should be specify that the system should do. What is specify? What that system should do. Second one. First modeling is a context which represent. Second model is requirements in the use case. First one is a context. Context will be writing a outline of every system. That is the border of every system. Writing outline of every system. Second one is requirements. What is requirement? What that system should do. From a point of view of outside the system, what that system should do. That information we have to write. Independent of how that system should do it. Okay. So common uses of the use case will be of two types. First one is context. Second one is requirement. Context will be writing the boundary of a particular system, and also requirements will be writing the what the system should do. What the system should do. See, modeling the context of a system. What is the modeling a context of a system? So to model the context of a particular system, identify the actors that surround the system by considering the some following options. Identifying the actors. Context. In the context, we are identifying the actors. Which group requires help? Identifying. For identifying which group requiring the helps, and which groups are need to execute the system's functions. Identify which groups are need to execute the system's function, and which groups interact with external hardware or other softwares. Identify the actors. Which groups interact with the external hardware or other software systems? Which groups perform secondary functions for administration and maintenance? So that kind of thinking, identifying the actors which are available in a system. Okay. Identification of the sense, which group performing secondary functions, which group performing interactions or external hardware operations, or which groups need to execute systems function, which groups require help. That kind of actors we should have to find in the context of modeling context of a system. Modeling the context of a system. And next, see, if you want to modeling a context of a system, identifying organize actors that are similar to one another. If you use generalization or the specialization hierarchy also there. Where it is understandability provides stereotypes are also for a particular actor. If you want to write any stereotype, you have to write the stereotypes for a particular actor. Stereotypes are nothing but include or extend relationships. With the stereotypes information you can write. And populate a use case diagram with these actors and specify the paths of the communication for each actors to the system's use cases. So when you designing a modeling the context of a particular system, first of all you have to draw the boundary. You have to draw the boundary of a particular system. So in that boundary, you may have to find who are the actors available there. What are their uses? What are their help? What are their system operations? What are their functional aspects? You found all other actors in a context of a system. See this example. Credit card validation system is one scenario use case. We mentioned here credit card validation system. In the system, perform card transaction is one use case. process customer bill is another use case. That is transactions, reconcile the transactions, manage customers account. All these are use cases. For that use cases we write a boundary, and also the context which you are using in a particular system you may also use for a dependency relationship or the generalization relationship you use here. Customer is an actor, parent actor. From that customer, individual customer or corporate customer, two customers are there. Two customers will be representing and identified in this example, and we gave the relationship in between generalization relationship, parent-child relationship, base class and subclass relationship here. And the next, modeling the requirements of a system. First we model in the context of a system, and second one we have to model the requirements of a system. Establish the context of the system by identifying the actors that surround it. Establish the context. Here we have to see establishing the context by actors we identify the, and each actor, for each actor consider the behavior that each aspect or requires the system provide. So with the help of behavior of a particular actor, how the actor will perform their behavior, and name these common behaviors as the use cases. First of all, identification is more important. Identification of the actors and what are their roles. What are their role? Performing and writing their roles, you create their role as a use case. That is the most important aspect which we have to model requirements here. Modeling a requirement, you use to found context is finding the actors, requirements is actors operations you may translate into common behaviors, you may translate it into use cases. Use cases, common behavior. For example, in an automatic teller machine ATM system, customer is there. What is the operations of a customer? What customer can do? Make it as a use case. The operations which are performing by the customer, you have to make all those operations use cases. So that is the requirement of modeling in a particular system. Requirement of modeling in a particular system. And requirements, in the requirements also you have to found common behavior into new use cases. Factor the common behavior into new use cases and model, adorn these use cases with nodes and assert non-functional requirements. You may have to attach some of these to the whole system also. While founding the users and use cases, you may also write nodes in a particular use case if you require. The use case diagram is also one of the diagram which is accepting nodes and also constraint. Okay, so these models, use cases, actors and their relationships in use case diagram. Model, you have to model all these actors, use cases and their relationships in a particular model. Okay, and next, so see this example, credit card validation system. Credit card validation system. In this credit card validation system, customer, retail institution sponsoring financial institution are the actors, and perform card transaction, process customer bill, reconcile transactions, manage customer account, report on account status, detect card fraud or not, manage network outage. All these are the actions performed by the actors who are available on the outside of the boundary. You may also found retail institution can have more number of use cases. Customer can perform card transaction. Customer can give the process customer bill. Process customer bill cannot perform by the customer. Who will processing? Retail institution will process customer bill. Report on account status. Who will report in the account status? That information is all available with the particular system. Next, forward and reverse engineering. Next one is terms and concepts and creating use cases and actors, and the third one is forward and reverse engineering. Most of the UML diagrams, if you take, including class diagram, component diagram, state chart diagram, are clear. The forward engineering and reverse engineering are the analog and executable systems. Here in use case diagrams are different. Use case diagrams are different. How use case diagrams are different? Use cases describe how an element behaves. Use case, what use case describe? Use case describes how an element behaves, not the how that behaves in implementation. Basically, in use case diagram, use cases can be write only which tells how it behaves, which will not give to the implementation way. But forwards and reverse engineering cannot have instead of use case diagrams. So it cannot be directly forward engineering or reverse engineering. You can take. Okay. So see, forward engineering is the process of transforming a model into code through a mapping to an implementation language. Code through a mapping to an implementation language. Forward engineering. A use case diagram can be forward engineered to perform tests for the element to which it applies. Where use case diagram can be forward engineered, use case diagrams are also used can be forward engineered. Here the use case diagram engineers the tests the elements which it applies, where the actual elements are applying, which will tests in forward engineering. See, in reverse engineering, what is going on? Especially for a use case diagram, reverse engineering is the process of transforming code into a model through a mapping from a specific implementation language, through a mapping. Reverse. This is the reverse engineering. Code into a model. Model into a code is forward engineering. Code into a model. That is the reverse engineering. So in the reverse engineering, we may have to follow some complexity. Automatically reverse engineering, a use case diagram is pretty much beyond the state of the art, simply because there is a loss of information when we move from a specification of how an element behaves to how it implemented. The loss of information is there in the reverse engineering while developing in a use case. Next, to forward engineer, what is going on? Stop piping. To forward engineering, A use case diagram, for each use case in the diagram, identify its flow of events, identifying its flow of events and its exceptional flow of events, identifying the flow of events and its exceptional flow of events, depending on how deeply you choose to test. In forward engineering, how deeply you choose to test the particular model, generate a test script for each flow, step by step order, each flow, using the flows precondition and tests initial state and post conditions and its success criteria. Initial conditions and post conditions success criteria based on the criteria which we have to design use case diagram, you might have to use. Okay. And next, forward engineering is also necessary to generate test scaffolding to the representation of each actor that interacts with the use case. Actors that push information to the element or are acted by the elements may either be simulated or substituted by its real world equivalent. If we found many number of actors, are those actors performing in the real world equal information or not, while we mapping with the use case and actor to use case, we have to check. Use different tools to run these tests. Each time you have to release the element to which the use case diagram applies. To which the use case diagram applies also you can found. In the reverse engineering, a use case diagram identify each actors that interacts with each system, each system. For each actor, consider it's a manner which the actor interacts with the system, changes the state of the state system and its environment and responds to the same event, and trace the flow of events in the executable system relative to each actor, and start with the primary flows of later consideration and alternatives paths in the reverse engineering you have to follow. So this is very complex way to represent the use case diagram in reverse engineering. Cluster related flow if you define, and also used to render the actors and use cases in a use case diagram and establish their relationships in reverse engineering also, while from implementation to the code. So likewise you might have to give the reverse engineering and the forward engineering. For each use case in the diagram, we specify the following things and describe the following: description, flow of event, main flow or alternative flow, a precondition, what kind of preconditions you are using, and what are the post conditions you use to follow. So those are all will be representing in the use case diagram. Use case diagram will be representing in the use case. See this example. This example will be completely print due date for the books, that is extend due date will be not repeatedly information. For that we write extends relationship. Include check fine for every book borrower. For every borrower you have to check the fine or not. Fine is that person have fine or not. Checking response books. This is one system. You have to represent a library management system. Borrower, student, librarian, lecturer, all the actors. The actors can be performing different kind of use cases. Search by the call number, search, you have to search different searches. Search is having different kind of search by author, search by title, search by call number also. Okay, so that kind of information you follow to represent these many use cases and actors. Okay, see here The use cases specifications are there, more number of specifications. So that specifications will be represented later. More number of specifications. So in this class, the conclusion, the summary. Summary of this class is, so we studied about the class diagram. What is a class diagram? Class diagram terms and conditions. Class diagram terms and conditions. And the third one is forward engineering. Next, reverse engineering. Forward engineering and the reverse engineering we studied. Okay. So let me stop this class. We will come with another session with another topic. Bye.